Right Honorable Speaker, mainstreaming UCDA will automatically nullify the recognition of UCDA of Uganda as an international center of robust excellence. This will pose a risk to the implementation of protocols with diverse effects on the coffee subsector, such a loss of markets that employs 12.5 million households. And Right Honorable Speaker, certification and accreditation requires a very rigorous process of building systems, personnel, and continuous inspections by the accrediting bodies. And because the markets have become more selective with the introduction of the requirement of traceability, UCDA is a recognized body that can only implement this commitment. Right Honorable Speaker, we should also keep in mind that in all successful coffee producing countries, coffee is regulated under a specialized agency. The agency model has proven to be efficient in coffee producing giants like Brazil, Vietnam, and Colombia, among others. And Right Honorable Speaker, I'm almost concluding. Right Honorable Speaker, the Coffee Institute, Vietnam Coffee Coordination Board, Coffee Board of Kenya and Ethiopia, and the Tea Authority, among others, have proved to have succeeded more with the agency model. Worth noting, Right Honorable colleagues, that with the reforms in the coffee subsector in neighboring countries like Kenya, Burundi, and Ethiopia, when they wanted to mainstream coffee after abolishing coffee boards, the quality and quantity declined and caused a loss of forex to these countries. Drawing an example from Kenya, when it merged the Kenya Coffee Board with other 117 crops under the Ministry of Agriculture, by 2021, the President issued an executive order to reintroduce the coffee board after the collapse of coffee production by 70%. Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues,
Honorable members, can we listen?
Our second observation is on the market risk. Colleagues, Uganda exports 65% of its coffee to the European Union, which requires the country to comply with the European Union Deforestation Regulation and corporate sustainability due diligence directives. The deadline takes effect on 1st January 2025, and failure to comply with the deadline, a country may lose 65% of its coffee market that is exported to the European Union. Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, mainstreaming UCDA is to undermine efforts of profiling, characterizing, and promoting Uganda coffee, which has made it possible to penetrate new markets, including Maghreb states, Asia, Gulf states, China, Korea, USA, and attempts in Russia. Right Honorable Speaker, any disruption to the sustained promotion and marketing of Uganda's coffee brand will reduce the market share in these countries. Since the ministry's efforts to look for new markets for other cash crops like tea, tobacco, vanilla, and others under their direct supervision have registered zero success. Right Honorable Speaker, you all know that we have failed at deteriorating prices of tea. Investors are running away to the neighboring countries, and the rise of maize prices, rice, tobacco, sugarcane, and others, all this under the supervision of the ministry. Right Honorable Speaker, contrary to the justification for rationalization of agencies, Uganda Coffee Development Authority is an autonomous and unduplicated revenue-generating agency capable of sustaining its operations without funding from government, and therefore should totally not be rationalized. Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, we should also keep in mind that in all successful, now I'm in the conclusions, that in all the coffee producing countries, coffee is regulated under specialized agencies. The agency model has proven to be efficient in coffee producing giants, as I've mentioned, the other countries like Brazil, Vietnam, and Colombia. And examples of these coffee boards, they have really stood hard on the market of their coffee farmers. So, Right Honorable Speaker, seeing the achievements of all these countries which have been successful with the agency model, Uganda cannot achieve much without applying the agency model, and hence a reason to reject the Uganda Coffee Development Authority rationalization back to the mother ministry. Right Honorable Speaker, there is a saying that if it is not broken, then do not fix it. If UCDA is not broken, why fix it, Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues? We should not insist on killing the institution we have built as Parliament through an act of Parliament. Right Honorable Speaker, the minority report finally recommends that Right Honorable Speaker, the minority report therefore notes that the justification for rationalizing Uganda Coffee Development Authority is not reasonable, and the 12.5 million Ugandans earning a livelihood in coffee demand that the bill entitled the Uganda Coffee Development Authority Amendment Bill 2024 should not be passed. It should be rejected by this honorable House. And therefore, Right Honorable Speaker, the minority report strongly rejects nationalization of Uganda Coffee Development Authority into the mother ministry. Honorable Speaker and colleagues, I beg to report.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Abed.
Right Honorable Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity, and I want to remind the honorable members in the House that I was sent here by the people of Chimanya Kabonera, and I must have space. Right Honorable Speaker, UCDA, the main mandate of UCDA is to regulate all on-farm and off-farm activities in the coffee value chain, to promote and oversee the quality, and I want to underline the word, the quality of coffee along the value chain, to support research and development, promote production, and improve the marketing of coffee stakeholders in the country. It should be noted that UCDA's main mandate is regulatory and important to ensure compliance with the export requirements and the international food safety standards. Anything that compromises UCDA will compromise our standards and our markets. UCDA is further mandated with the development and establishment of a traceability system intended, among others, to comply with EU deforestation regulation, which is of recent. There is also a requirement of corporate sustainability and due diligence directives. The traceability system, which is a regulatory tool, is supposed to register all participants in the coffee value chain. And it is UCDA that is mandated with that role. We observe that the current UCDA, that currently it is UCDA that is best positioned in terms of professional knowledge, human resource, systems, and accreditations to handle the mandate of quality assurance. And I want to ask the honorable members to underline the word accreditations. And all regulation requirements necessary for coffee value chain and international trade. Right Honorable Speaker, allow me to elaborate on the accreditation. It takes 5 to 10 years for any system to be accredited internationally, 5 to 10 years. And accreditation involves pre-accreditation, application, desk review, on-site survey, and accreditation decision. That requires 5 to 10 years. The moment we tamper with UCDA, we are going to lose this accreditation. And it is not true that the minister will get the accreditation the next year. We need 5 to 10 years. Mainstreaming UCDA into MAIF risks compromising quality control and regulation, which will negatively affect coffee trade and markets. This will adversely impact on the coffee export from Uganda and our global competitiveness. We are going to be affected. We don't want to try what the neighbors in Kenya and Ethiopia tried and they failed. They rationalized their boards and they were terribly affected. MAIF, and I'm talking about Minister of Agriculture, in its current form, lacks capabilities, systems, and structures to handle coffee quality regulations and the stringent trade requirements for the markets in the coffee trade. MAIF does not have that capacity now. UCDA is designated as a center of Robusta excellence by the Coffee Quality Institute, which is an international institute, in addition to certification and accreditation of UCDA Coffee Laboratory in Rugogo. These tools are very important for our markets. We note that rationalization of UCDA may lead to loss of certifications and accreditations, thus affecting coffee markets. Right Honorable Speaker, there are best practices. In all countries, my colleagues have already mentioned them, all top countries which export coffee, none of them do so by regulating quality through the main ministry. They use agencies. Recommendations. We recommend that rationalization of UCDA, if done, it should be with a transition period of 5 years to allow Right Honorable, I must be protected.
Honorable members, can we have silence?
Right Honorable Speaker, if rationalization is to be done, my recommendation...
There is a procedural matter from Jonathan.
Madam Speaker, Rule 8.3 is very clear. The behavior of members in the House. Rule 8.3, let us listen to a member. Then when we have dissenting views, we will contribute. Madam Speaker, are we proceeding right as a parliament when a member is talking and we are interfering with the member on the floor?
Honorable members, if you feel you cannot be quiet when somebody is speaking, if you're not tolerant enough, the doors are open. Before I send you out myself.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Don't make me go into that extreme. Listen, everybody is being listened to. Huh?
Right Honorable Speaker, my recommendation is that if there is any rationalization of UCDA, there should be a transition for 5 years. And my justification is that we need...
Baroda, you're not shouting at your co-wife.
Right Honorable Speaker, we need a period of 5 to 10 years to establish the systems and structures that will lead us to get accreditation as a nation. Right Honorable Speaker, I have proposed that in these 5 years, if of transition, the government of Uganda should provide adequate funding to promote coffee in the northern Uganda, including Lango, Acholi, Kalamoja, and West Nile. This area has been waiting for coffee for perennial cash crop for a long time. I've also made a recommendation, Right Honorable Speaker, that in these 5 years, UCDA should be provided additional money for coffee seedlings to the farmers that are required by farmers strategically to help us meet the 20 million bags and meet the target of 2030. Fourthly, government should put in place a fertilizer loan scheme to avail fertilizers to the farmers who need these fertilizers. Right Honorable Speaker, I've also proposed that government should expedite the establishment of the Food and Veterinary Drug Regulatory Agency. And it should be this agency in the future where we put coffee and other food crops that need regulation.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker.
There's a procedure matter.
Procedure. Honorable Abed, you have a seat.
Procedure.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, we are discussing the bill, either to rationalize or not. We are not in those nitty-gritties of the advantages of the other side. So we need to know from Honorable Abed whether he's here to tell us to rationalize or not to rationalize, other than diverting us and taking us off the major topic. So through your office, Right Honorable Speaker, is Honorable Abed proceeding in the right direction of misleading the whole team by proposing a creation of other things that are not necessary?
Honorable members, you've heard from Honorable Abed.
Right Honorable, allow me in a sentence to conclude. Right Honorable Speaker, I represent the people of Masaka. We are a coffee growing area. I want to request the members of Parliament that when a honorable member of Parliament is presenting, we should be calm, we should allow to listen, and I want to remind you, we came here by our own right. Nobody should ever think that I can come on a microphone and you intimidate me.
Honorable members,
the people of Masaka.
Honorable members,